Hey, in this video we're going to cover website segmentation and personalization. So with the most recent update to our Chrome extension, you can also set website segments and then apply individual personalization to each of those segments. So let's jump in to see how that works. So we're going to use the Hyperized website as our example here, and as you can see here we've got the Chrome extension already installed. So simply clicking that, in this case we're already logged in, and so it just shows you who I'm signed in as, and then we can see we've got the personalization toolbar here at the top. Now for those of you that have used this toolbar before, some of these elements will look familiar. In the middle here we've got the personalizations that we have on the page, so we see in this case 26 personalizations on the page, and we can scroll through and see those and then select any of those and be taken to that point on the page where they exist. And then from there, obviously, we can select any element. And as we select, for example, we select a text element, we'll see all the personalization tags. Or if we select an image element, then we'll see all of the personalized images in there. And we can also search for a specific image if we wanted to. Then in this case, we could then click to replace that, or we can right click the image and choose to personalize it, and that will load it up in our image editor. The same applies with text. Once we're in edit mode, we can choose to right click and see the edit HTML. So if we want to add some specific HTML tags, like making a merge tag bold, for example, we could do that directly within the HTML editor. So that's the standard stuff that's already there. We also have these controls here, which will bring up the either the HTML editor or the edit controls. But what we've added to here is segmentation on the right-hand side. As we can see, when we load up the personalization toolbar, by default we'll have the default personalization segment. So that's the segment that will be applied when a user arrives at your site, and we're able to apply some level of personalization based on what you've set. So in this case, we're personalizing, rather than saying your website, we're personalizing with the actual website name. So personalize apple.com, for example. If we're able to recognize, personalize, identify the visitor on this firmographic level, then that will be applied in our default personalization. But we can go beyond that now. If I click this, we'll see I've got a couple of other segments already created. But what I'll do, let's just for this example or demo here, let's just create a new segment. So we see this little plus button here, and then that will load up the website segment tool, where we can first of all give it a name. So in this case, let's call it B2B marketers. And what we're going to say is, if the business category contains B2B and the job title contains marketer. And so when we have this segment, we can see now that we've changed now. We've now got the B2B marketers segment selected, and we've got 0 personalizations on this page. So in this case, I might want to change the title and say perfect for B2B marketers, and just completely change the title of the page based on the segment. In this case, I know that the business segment is going to be B2B, and the job title is going to have marketers. So if that case, when a visitor comes to your site that you've identified through an outreach, then this segment could be applied, and then you could then go through and apply a completely different set of personalizations in terms of changing images. For example, change some content or links to articles that are more specific to that segment. In terms of, you can just save that segment personalization. So now that we've got, in this case, 3 segments created, I can then choose to change the order of these. So for example, the priority, I might want the CEOs to be the first segment to be applied if possible, and then it will kind of go through the list to find the most appropriate segment based on priority. So if I select another segment here, I've chosen the software segment. We can see we've got 9 personalizations in this case. So we're saying perfect for software businesses like, and then we've added in a personalization tag. So not only are we changing the content in terms of to personalized to the segment, then we're also adding this firmographic personalization in there as well. So I can then now click the edit box here, and I can see the specifics of this segment. So in this case, we're saying if a business category contains the word software. What we can also do with segments, which is incredibly powerful, is link them. So for example, we've got a segment, as we just saw there, called software. So we know that's going to be a software business. And then we could add an additional segment that, for example, could be number of visits. So number of visits is more than 5, let's say, or even more than 1, and then or whatever that number may be. And then we can say that repeat visitor has maybe got higher intent, and so maybe we want to have a different level of personalization, or maybe just even a welcome back name, sort of title instead. And so we could say, call this repeat software. As well as being able to use segment types such as other segments you defined, you can also use referrer, excuse me, as well as UTM parameters. So if you're using this from, for example, a campaign from paid acquisition on Facebook or Google, and you're defining a certain campaign type, or in terms of a Google search, a certain term that was used.
Sorry,
then
I don't have any information about that.
Thanks, Google. Being able to apply that to the campaign and then segment your site and then personalize the site accordingly. Obviously, the number or the permutations available with these segment types is unlimited almost. But yeah, certainly it gives you a lot of scope for creating really personalized experiences on your website. I hope this has been a useful video. I look forward to your feedback and making this product even stronger. Thanks for your time.